Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the latest Phase 3 Meets episode. This week, I'm joined by Greg Hartigan, who is the Managing Director of Caseflowhr HR, a startup digital ER specialist. Greg, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. I'm just looking outside and just looking at the lovely weather. We could be out there, and yet over the weekend it was snowing and blowing a gale, but that's just life, isn't it?
To be expected, isn't it? It's that standard stuff that. Thank you very much for taking time out of what I know must be a very busy time for you. Obviously, starting a new business is manic. I know that. So why don't we start by you just giving everybody an overview of what it is Caseflowhr HR is all about and what it is you guys do.
Yeah, sure. Well, Caseflowhr HR is the new generation of HR case management systems. There are some out there already, but the purpose is to enable HR people to run employee relations cases easier. It's as simple as that.
Okay, and for those of our viewers who are a little bit unsure, what exactly does employee relations cover, Greg?
Sure. Employee relations is the shorthand that we in HR we give to any formal interaction with employees, ensuring that their employment rights are protected. People will be familiar with them. So simple maternities, paternities, shared parental, if the employee wants to put in a complaint or a grievance, or you as the employer want to improve someone's performance or to discipline them for misconduct. If you employ a person, you will have invariably in the lifetime of their employment an ER case, and they can range from the bizarre down to the ordinary. Whether they're bizarre or everyday cases, following a fair procedure and making sure that you make the right decision is really important, because that's the type of thing that can cost at tribunal, and it's straight off the bottom line, and it can affect your relationship with the other employees as well.
So obviously I said in the intro, Greg, that you guys are a startup. So what makes Caseflowhr HR different to the various other ER providers out there?
Yeah, well, what makes the difference is the agility of the platform. So we use a chatbot technology to provide assisted HR. Okay. And, you know, I have to be fair, there are excellent case management systems out there already. But so far as I know, hand on heart, ours is the only one that uses assisted AI. And I think it's fair to say that the chatbot technology enables us to differ from other HR case management systems in three ways. The first is that, you know, as I say, I've been in HR for 30 years and my wife's been in HR for 20 years. So 50 years between us. And we know that most cases will not run like an oil tanker. And yet the platforms of the traditional HR case management systems assume that they do. So you go from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. And the reason that they do that is that their platforms are also used for expenses claims, which is a very sequential process. So any number of things can happen in any supervening or unexpected event. I was operating cases I've operated where, if, for example, the employee decides that they disclose a medical condition, well, immediately you think of disability discrimination and you ignore that at your peril. But it does mean that the sequence, then you need to jump ahead to get to the obtaining medical record. So the first difference is that we're enabled to jump up and down the timeline simultaneously. The second thing is, as I say, with the assisted AI, it enables decision making. Most HR case management systems are virtual filing cabinets. Well, that's fine. So everything's in order, but how do you know that the right pieces of paper are there? So you've got to make sure that you make the right decision, because ultimately at tribunal 18 months later, the manager has sat there, the line manager, scratching their head trying to remember why they took a certain course of action. And it may not even be the right one. And the third way that we differ is that we're able to tailor exactly to your requirements. Let me give you an example. All of our pathways meet the statutory minimum. So if you follow them, you'll follow a fair procedure and then come out with a defensible outcome. However, it may be that perhaps you meet a certain disciplinary case, say once every 2 years, because of the size of your workforce.
Yeah.
And so you'll need a lot of hand-holding to take you through exactly what you need to do. So you can have totally tailored, untailored, or something in between. So we're flexible. And those 3 ways, the agility of that chatbot platform enables us to differ in those regards.
And did you kind of see a gap in that space, in that market, if you like? And kind of leads me to my next question in terms of what kind of made you want to start this new business, really?
Yeah, good one. Well, that's a mixture of frustration of over 30 years of running employee relations cases and midlife crisis. So I'll deal with the first of those. One of the issues that I found was that I was being continually interrupted as head of HR with queries that you just think, well, they ought to know that. The other one was inconsistent decision making, and the simple one was that if I didn't know to make a certain decision, then I would have one of 5 sources. So phone a solicitor, phone a friend, look, the last time that we had a similar case, what's the policy and the procedure, which no one in HR ever reads, by the way, although we churn them out. That's just a trade secret, but don't tell anyone, etc., etc. So all of those frustrations, we then decided to create Caseflow HR. Now, what we originally thought is that we could take the platform, the workflow platform, and build into it decision making and agility, but it just wasn't working. And I suppose you can achieve anything with unlimited funds, but you would never actually recoup them from a return on investment point of view. So we decided to flip that on its head, find chatbot technology, and then build case management into that. And hence we get the best of case management without compromising on agility.
Excellent. Okay. And obviously, I think, and I'm actually no expert in the ER space, but having obviously spoken to you previously and now doing this and my little bit of research, I think the chatbot addition, for want of a better term, could be a real game changer. I mean, it's the way things are going anyway, the way the tech's going anyway in terms of chatbots and that kind of functionality. But I think that could be a real game changer. And I also believe in terms of being a fully kind of people-centric business, it can have tremendous value there as well. But how do you believe that Caseflow HR could help you achieve that kind of target or that goal of being a pure a people-centric business?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. Any good HR department will be absolutely tied into the commercial objectives of the business.
Absolutely, yeah.
But often they're not, and they tend to operate in and of themselves, and then just produce a KPI report. But by being tied into the commercial objectives, it makes sure then that their people strategy is designed to aid recruitment and retention, and essentially, and I'm sorry if this sounds pretty old-fashioned, but making sure that the employees are doing the right things to the right quality at the right time, and is giving them every assistance that they possibly can. Where HR departments, what they forget is that they never earn revenue, right? But they can add value and save costs.
Absolutely.
And so Caseflow HR then is really, the way we've designed it will enable people to be, and that mission of adding value in 3 ways. Number one, it means that any ER or employee relations case is dealt with quickly and transparently. So your employees are not distracted waiting for a nameless, faceless, invisible bureaucracy to eventually get round to dealing with their issue. Because from HR points of view, it's just one of a number of cases, but to that employee, it's absolutely vital.
Yeah.
So it's the second thing is that when you are dealing with an employee, the other employees are looking, because they will by extension see, I would be treated the same were I in that employee's position, even if they believe the employee, I don't know, has done something catastrophically wrong, but they'll still want them to be treated fairly.
Yeah.
And so the hearts and minds thing then is absolutely vital to keeping people at the heart of it. And I think the third way in which Caseflow HR will keep people at the centre is that it just frees up HR time, reduces HR cost,
Yeah.
which means that you can focus then on other initiatives to keep employees engaged and also to recruit the right ones.
Okay, excellent. It sounds fantastic. It really does. I mean, what are your plans for growth then? Because obviously you're a startup. You've just kind of started trading. Do you have any particular type of customer that you plan to go after, or size of customer, for example?
Well, essentially the market's open because we've got a disruptive case management system. We already know that the HR technology space is growing, whether it's self-service portals, employee engagement apps, or better versions of personnel software, which list all the employee details. And so the advent of COVID has meant that the technological curve has accelerated, by my reckoning, by at least 5 years. So the whole business interruption thing. So we know there's a market there already. We've got a tool which is nice and fresh and is going to disrupt that market. And our customer is anyone who has an employee. It's as simple as.
Yeah.
What's really exciting about our platform is that although at the moment it's geared toward employment law and HR, it could operate in any regulated environment. So we're getting a lot of interest from the social care, the private sector, social care verticals. So where they have set policies and procedures, which they're required to by law, well, they can digitalize those. And then the social worker or the case manager can follow a standard process. So you get consistency, and whatever conclusion they come to will be justified and recorded. We're also getting some interest from the financial sector as well. In fact, any regulated environment where you need to follow a set procedure, but where there's also human decision making, and that human has to justify it at the end of the day, and it needs to be demonstrable, auditable, and transparent. So it's really exciting. I could do with 5 of me.
Yeah.
And tons of money to invest into that. But, you know, we will grow and we will be successful, I've no doubt.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, your passion for it clearly comes across, and I think you're joining a market at if timing can ever be right, you know, the timing seems to be perfect. There's so much innovation happening at the moment in the HR tech space, and the last few phase 3 meets that I've done, actually, I won't be careful in terms of when these are being released now, but the innovation in terms of employee engagement, you touched upon it there, but also from a payroll point of view, and, you know, not just having a boring old pay slip and explaining that to people in interaction with that. And now from a kind of HR and ER perspective as well, honestly, it's really exciting times. I think you'll be doing fantastically well. I really do hope you do. How can people get in touch with you, Greg? What's the, if someone's seeing this video and they want to get in touch, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, they can engage us on all the major social media platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We're called Caseflowhr HR, spelt all one word, or they can access our website, which is www.caseflowhr.co.uk.
Fantastic. I urge people looking at new kind of ER tech to get in touch with you guys and see how you can help them. I think you can also find you guys on our website, on our Connect platform as well. So good. We're going to move on to the quick fire round.
Okay.
Greg. And just a few questions just to get to know the person or the people behind the business a little bit better. So here we go. Greg, what's your favorite car?
I don't have one. All I want is a car that's assisted steering, will beep when I reverse, got aircon, it got a nice sound system, and it won't hurt my back when I drive it.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Favorite holiday destination?
Well, I love going to Portugal, to a place called Algarve.
Okay.
It's a nice, lovely little village down on the Algarve.
Brilliant. I think we could probably talk about holidays for the next hour, couldn't we? And just wish that we were in a position to actually be booking something. God knows, it's not looking likely this year, is it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I can't
Maybe late
wait.
in the year, perhaps, but
well, who knows? I mean, I'm just looking forward to being able to go into a pub and drink. I remember during the first lockdown, I had to go to the office to do some photocopying on the other side of town. and I sort of felt like a criminal because sort of making my way through these empty streets.
Yeah.
But actually, I was
Yeah.
giddy with excitement at just being able to get out of the house. So the idea of going abroad is like a dream beyond, but we'll get there eventually.
Absolutely. You touched upon how people can contact you on social media, and Caseflowhr HR earlier. What's your favorite app? Generally, maybe a non-work related app, actually.
Well, I tell you, one app that I discovered that I actually like is a mindfulness app.
Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's got various sounds, but the one that I like the best is it sounds a gong every 20 minutes.
Okay.
And the idea is you listen to these sounds as it decreases. And there's a lot of studies, neurological studies, to show that mindfulness actually has a health benefit as well, you know, in terms of the brain and all that, so in breathing, etc., etc. But don't tell anyone, I'm reaching the age where I need to watch out for my health. Yeah, okay, I'll leave that one with you.
I'm not sure how I feel about a mindfulness app. You know, I think it's still digital, it's still online, it's still via some form of social media app. Yeah, it's meant to kind of, you know, I'm not sure how I compute those two together.
Yeah,
really.
well,
I can see how it would work.
Yeah.
But
there is something just though at the end of the day, just being able to, or in the middle of the day, just being able to put your AirPods in and just close your eyes and listen and follow the instructions. Have someone tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really, really great. But that's one of my favorite apps. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. A couple more questions to go. What's your favorite sports team? I'm not even sure if you like sports, but I'll ask the question anyway.
Do you know what? I don't
No?
have
Okay.
a sports team at all.
Fair enough. I clearly should have done a little bit more research before some of these questions. Yeah, well, that's the whole point of them, I suppose. So,
Yeah.
okay. Final question. You can pick 2 dinner guests, dead or alive, non-family. Who would you choose? Just 2.
Oh gosh, that's a good one. I think that I'd like to pick 2 from the repair shop. I don't know if you've seen the repair shop.
No.
Yeah, you see that I'm showing my age now, my demographic, but essentially the repair shop is got master craftsmen who can fix everything from old clocks to old toys to you know, all of these old things, and they restore them in just an incredible way. It's actually an art form. The emotional impact that it has on the person who's bought it, you know, it might be an old toy that they haven't heard, you know, haven't played with for 80 years, or it might be their father's war medals or something. And it's quite incredible. And to have people of that caliber just telling their stories, because I love to listen to people. Everybody's got a story to tell, and what I like to do is to find the point where that makes them as a person, you know, that point where they encountered something that was difficult, but they pushed through anyway and actually discovered that they could live life rather than life living them.
Yeah. Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. I admire you hugely in terms of what you have created, the journey that you're just starting. I urge people watching this video to follow you guys on social media, on LinkedIn, all the various platforms that you've mentioned. Get on your website, get in touch with Greg and the team. And thank you again so much for your time. I wish you nothing but continued success, Greg.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, guys, thank you very much, and see you next time. All the best. Bye-bye.